Hello and welcome back to Lockdown Lessons. Today we're going to do some maths make and do. So we're going to build a machine that my students have used in class, and it's very helpful to have when you're doing your empty number line, counting up, counting backwards, addition and subtraction, and also place value. So today's lesson is aimed at my first class group, so that's Chelsea, Christina, Claire, Roya, Rachel and Miriam, and my two third class groups, so that's Musa, Amelia and Kelly, and also Gabby, Michaela, Lana and Caitlin Rose. Oh, and it's also two friends that I think would benefit from seeing this are Michael and Cora, because they watched my video and thought that I did too much of this. But I can't help it. It makes it easier to edit later on. Okay, so with that said, what you will need for today's lesson is I have uploaded a template onto Dropbox that you can download. The link is in the description, and you'll have to get your mum or your dad to print it out. It's just 3 A4 sheets like this, and if they print that out, it'll make everything a lot easier. You will also need a shoebox. Any old shoebox is perfect. You will need 3 colors, crayons or colouring pencils would be best, but if you want, you can use markers. You need a red, a yellow and a green. Oh, you also need some paper glue, and you will need a scissors or something sharp. Maybe a blade if one of your parents are willing to help. If not, a safety scissors should do perfectly. Okay, so first thing you need to do is go to the link in the description and download the template. It's called Odometer Template, and there should be 3 sheets to print out, 3 PDFs, and they look like these. So the first one is this. Second one is this, and the third one is this. So the first thing I want you to do is to cut this sheet along the dotted line. So cut with a scissors along the dotted line, and also on this sheet. Then you will end up with 6 strips, like these ones I've made earlier. Then I want you to get the 2 strips that have green written on it and colour them in. I've had to use brown because the green screen would have made them invisible, but I want you to use green to stick with the place value colours that we use in school. Okay? The 2 strips that have red written on them, I want you to colour in red. And the 2 strips that have yellow written on them, I want you to colour in yellow. Okay. If I am rushing through this or going too quickly, you will be able to pause the video or watch it again and come back to see what you need or what the step was. I realise some of you will have a shoebox straight away. Others might have to go looking around your house for them. But everybody should have a shoebox in their house somewhere that they can use. Okay, so once we have our 6 strips cut out and coloured in, we have to get the shoebox And if you have one with an attached lid, you have to cut the lid off. Or if you have one that the lid just comes off, that's perfect. Then I need you to get the other sheet that you printed out, which is this one with the 6 strips and the logo in the corner. I need you to glue the back of it and then stick it in to the bottom of the shoebox. Perfect. So when that's done, and this is where you might need your parents to help, especially my first class group, I need you to cut out the hatched area. So cut out those 6 rectangles. So you will end up with a shoebox like this. Here's one I made earlier. So you'll have 6 holes the size of those hatched areas in a lovely shoebox. Okay? Now, the next bit I need you to do. Get your green strips, your 2 green strips. Get your paper glue. And glue one end to the other. Obviously, make sure you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and then glue on the 5. So we just glue it on like that. So you'll end up with one long strip going from 0 all the way to 9. From 0 all the way up to 9. Then, because that's the green strip, and we know from school that that means it's the hundredths strip, we have to go into our box. And what way does it work? It's ones, tens, and hundredths. So it'll be on the, as you look at it, on the left hand side. So then we simply thread this through there, through the bottom one, and back out the top one. So you will end up with a long strip that you can make go up and down like the numbers. Okay? When you've that done, I want you to glue the tab underneath the 9. So we glue that. And then you can close them. So the 9 and the 0 should overlap it. So that means you would be left with one strip, your hundredths column, can go all the way from 0 to 9. Brilliant. Now, who remembers what colour the yellow was? Or what the yellow represented? That's right, it was the 10s, so that's in the middle. So if you can get your 2 yellow strips, get the one from 1 to 4 and glue this tab just beneath the 4. So that means you end up with a strip going from 0 all the way up to 9. So we thread that in. We have the hundredths in the first column. So the tens go in the middle column. So we thread in the bottom and out the top. So you'll end up with a strip like that. So now all we have to do is close our circle. So you get the glue again and glue the tab underneath the yellow 9. The tab that says 9, just glue underneath that and stick it together so that your 9 and your 0 are beside each other. So now we have our hundredths, we have our tens, and we still need our ones. Perfect. Okay, so get our remaining strips, which are the red ones. Get the 0 to 4. Glue the tab underneath the 4 and stick the other strip underneath it. So you've got your 4 and 5 together. There's only one slot left that we can thread it into. So we thread it out the bottom one. Whoop. And into the top one. So now we got our 3 strips. Our hundredths, which yours will be green. Mine is brown, so that the green screen isn't messed up. Your tens, which is yellow. And your ones, which are red, like we do in school with our place value. Okay, so we just have to finish sticking those together. So the tab underneath the red 9. And close it by sticking so that the 9 and the 0 are together. So, I'm hoping everybody in my class remembers how to use our odometer or our counting box. So we start on 0, 0, 0. I'll move back here so the light's better. And we start counting. What color do we move first when we start counting? We move the ones. We always start on the ones. So that will be the reds. So we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What comes after 9 on the counting box? It goes back to 0, but it unlocks the next column, doesn't it? It unlocks the yellows or the tens. So that goes up to 1. So after 9 comes 10. Okay, so then we have to start again. We go back to our ones column. We go back to our 0, our reds, and we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And after 9 we get to 0 again, which in turn unlocks the yellow column, the tens column. So that will go up 1, 2, 2. So after 19 we have 20. I'm actually going to hold it here. I'm going to move my light because it's very dark. Now, oh, that's much better. Okay, so where were we? We were on 20. So, after we get to a decade, 20, we start back on the ones column. So the reds. We go 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And after 29, after the 9 in the ones column, we go back to 0. But it unlocks our tens column. So our tens column goes from 2 to 3. So then we have 30. So after that, what do? We go back to the ones column. So 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. After a 9, we always get a 0 in the ones column, but it unlocks the column beside it, and that goes from 3 to 4. So 40. After 40, go back to our ones column. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Can anybody tell me what happens when the red column, the ones column, is at 9? What's the next digit in the red column? It is 0, which means it unlocks the column next to it, which is the tens column, and that goes from a 4 to a 5. So our next number is 50. So let's keep going, let's counting up. We have to go back to our ones column. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. What happens after 59? We go up to 0 in the ones column. It unlocks the tens column, and that goes from a 5 to a 6. So our next number is 60. Very good. Back to our ones column. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. After 9, goes back to a 0 in the ones column. It unlocks the tens column, so that goes from a 6 to a 7. So the number is 70. After that, we start counting again. We go up in the ones column, the red. So 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. And after 9, we go back to 0 in the ones column. So after we've gone to 0 in the ones column, it unlocks the tens column, and that goes from 7 to 8. So after that, we always go back and start at the ones column. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. And after 89, we go to a 0 in the ones column. It unlocks the tens column, and we go up to a 9, from an 8 to a 9. So 90. So we have to go back to our ones column. We keep going up. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Now, after a 9 in the ones column, we always go to a 0, and it unlocks the column beside it, which is the not tens column. So that goes from 9. Oh, if that goes from 9, it goes to a 0. So it unlocks the column beside it, which is the hundredths column. So that goes from a 0 to a 1. And when that's 100, so after that we have to go straight back to the ones column. So 101, 102. Okay, my camera just died there. So the battery of my camera just died, so I had to change it. So where was I? Oh yes, let's start again from 99, because it's good to see that again. So at 99, let's count up. Okay? we always start on the red, the ones column. 9 goes up to 0. If you see a 0 in the ones column, it unlocks the column beside it, which is the yellow column, the tens column. That's also on a 9, so that will go up to 0 as well. If we see a 0 in a column when we're counting up, it means it always unlocks the column beside it. So the hundredths column, or the green column, will go from 0 to 1. So after 99, next number is 100. If we want to keep counting up, we have to go all the way back to the ones column. And we go 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, and we keep going up. And that's all. When you're counting up, as soon as you reach a 0 in one column, it unlocks the column that's bigger than it, the next column over. When you're counting down, it's different, but we'll talk about that another day. So, using this box, you can count up all the way to 999, and you can always check to see that you're right, as long as you follow the steps. Or if you want to be really adventurous, you could make 2 of the boxes, and this would be ones, tens, hundredths. Then the next box, let's see if I have that sheet I use as an example. The next box would be thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s. And you could even keep going up to millions, 10 millions, and 100 millions. You can keep going up. You could make 100 boxes all the way along, and you could go up to silly numbers. Sorry about the shadow. I'm still working out lighting and that, but I hope you guys learned something from that, and that you'll all be able to make your own odometers or counting boxes. All you need is a shoebox, some glue. If you can print out those 3 A4 sheets from the template that I have linked in the description, and a scissors, and preferably an adult to help you with the cutting out of the holes in the box, because that's very tricky. Good. So I will see you all again next week. If you want to send me a photograph or an email of your counting boxes, I would be very impressed, and always bring them for our next lessons, because they're a great help when we're trying to work out trickier counting and addition and subtraction. Oh, and place value. That whole lesson was about place value. Okay, slán ó bhaile.